Hello, so we're here with Adán from HAZENFilm. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about HAZENFilm, where the name comes from?
Yeah, I'm Adán Sanchez. I'm the founder of HAZENFilm. HAZENFilm, actually, the name comes from, well, the film part is pretty obvious, but Hazen comes from Al-Hazen, which was like an Arab scientist from the Middle Ages who actually was the inventor of the camera obscura, which is like the founding principle of cameras nowadays. And he was the guy also who theorized on how vision works, how the sun emits rays that bounce off objects and come into our eyes and form an image that gets translated into our brains.
How did you get started with analog photography?
Well, as a kid, being raised in the 90s, I used like point and shoots when I was a kid, when I was traveling or whatever, but I was not like really onto photography necessarily, but my father was. So he documented all of our childhood with his Nikon mat, and he was really, he was taking pictures all the time, slide film mainly. And then when I was a teenager, and I got my first job, I spent my first salary buying my first digital camera. It was a Olympus EPL1, one of the first Micro Four Thirds, and I got, I really got into the hobby of photography, mainly digital. And then it was like only like a couple of years ago when I was traveling with my girlfriend to Japan, and she gave me her Minolta, the SRT 101, and I got it to a working condition, and I was taking pictures all through Japan, and I fell in love with the experience, and I fell in love with the shops there, with all the little camera shops that you can find everywhere, and how people love that, and there's quite a scene. So at that time it was really hard to find film here, and the prices were skyrocketing, and I thought I really want to bring a little piece of how film and camera world works in Japan to Spain.
Okay, controversial question maybe, but black and white or color film? If you could only shoot one for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
If it's an option, reversal film, slide film. But if in general, black and white or color, color for certain, because I really struggle generally to find the case for black and white. I mean, this like the subject. Normally, I can shoot more casually with color. I can throw a point and shoot or any compact camera, little rangefinder, whatever, in my pocket, and throw color plus or whatever in there, and I can be shooting more casually, street photography, just hanging out with friends, whatever. For black and white, I sort of try to justify, try to find a subject that has like maybe more contrast or something that will look more interesting in black and white.
What is the film roll or the product in the shop that is your bestseller?
Right now, the bestseller, it's hands down the Kodak Color Plus 200. It was reintroduced in April this year, so half a year ago, more or less, and ever since we have sold like above 3,000 rolls, so it's a true bestseller.
Wow. And behind that, what would you say is the
second one is the gold 3-pack.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. It's 30 euros, so 10 euro a roll is quite compelling.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, what's the film roll that's no longer produced that you wish got started with production again?
The Fujifilm Superia Extra 400. Yeah, I really love that one. It's my favorite C41 stock. And right now it's not produced anymore. They discontinued it earlier this year, and they're only producing the Fujicolor 100 and the Superior Extra, the Superior Premium 400, and those are only officially distributed in Japan. We bring them here, but they are expensive, and we don't know how longer they will be in the market.
What are some trends that you'd like to see in analog film photography in the coming year?
So we're very happy that there are new cameras like the Pentax 17 or the Relay AF, if eventually it's distributed across all Europe, and we would love to see like SLR, like more advanced cameras with more manual options, more advanced, more creative workflows, but of course that requires logistics and production upgrades that the manufacturers don't have in place right now, because there's also a lot of know-how that is lost because the people who knew have retired already. So we understand that it will take some time for the manufacturers to catch up, and other than that, we would love to see more options in film, more diversity, more slide film, higher speed films, like more options for 800 or even 1600 ISO in color, maybe 400 ISO slide film. That would be lovely, like the Provia 400F. Yeah, anything of that would be really lovely. Then obviously everyone is looking forward to see the prices go down, but that's, from our point of view, it's a bit of a divided thing, because it can play against the industry. If, for example, if you think about it, if we see lower prices again, will probably be because Kodak makes some breakthrough in their production lineup, or they increase their throughput significantly and they can reduce the prices, and that doesn't necessarily make an impact on the prices that other manufacturers will be able to produce. Because if the price of Portra or any professional film goes down and has the same, it's at the same level at whatever other manufacturers are putting into the market, those will have a harder time competing with Kodak, and they will have the monopoly, and we may see less diversity in the market. In other markets, in general, when something like that happens, actually there's an incentive for the smaller manufacturers to innovate, to come up with products that differentiate themselves from the ones from the monopoly, let's say. But that's probably not the case here, because the products that other manufacturers like Orwo or anyone who is repackaging Orwo films, they are already quite different from what Kodak pushes. So we don't really know how things are going to evolve from here.
Got it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time.
You're very welcome.